It is time for the second annual Brown Booktuber Awards, where I hand out awards for books this year. There are many categories and at least one new one. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with a fan favourite award, the EARTHSEA Award. The EARTHSEA Award is one that is given to the book that I feel is the most EARTHSEA that I read in 2025. And our winner is The Other Wind. It is an extremely EARTHSEA book, as it is the last EARTHSEA book that Ursula K. Le Guin wrote in the series. The Other Wind is in my opinion, a really great way to end the series. It had tough competition. Its competition was Tales from EARTHSEA, which was the only other EARTHSEA book I read this year. But The Other Wind pips it out because it is the culmination of everything that has happened in the EARTHSEA saga so far. Characters from all across the books and situations that basically help end a lot of the strife that has been building throughout the books, and also is a nice little ribbon to tie off everything and all the characters' stories that we have come to know and love throughout EARTHSEA. As I always say, please go off and read EARTHSEA. I adore the series. It has been life-changing for me. Up next, we have a brand new category. This category is Most Frustrating Read. So these are books that I found frustrating in both good and bad ways. Frustrating in the sense that it really challenged me whilst reading, and also frustrating because of the actual content of the text, in kind of a way that, oh my god, the situation frustrates me, or the way it is written frustrates me, or what the author says frustrates me. You know, there was quite a few books I read like this. But there was one book that I read last year which frustrated me the most out of basically any book I read last year, perhaps ever. And that book is Between Existentialism and Marxism by Jean-Paul Sartre. This book was like punching myself in the face for hours on end trying to read, trying to get my head around what he was saying, trying to pass just the wall of text it was. I ended up going off and reading a different Sartre book to kind of get my footing into the door with his writing before going off to continue reading this book and just ploughing through it over several months. It was genuinely one of the most difficult reads I have ever read in my life. Honourable mention to Psychopolitics. This book wasn't frustrating in the sense that I didn't understand it. It was frustrating in the sense that, oh my god, it made me really angry with the world as I read it. Up next is another brand new category. It is Best Sports Book of the Year. As you guys know, I read a lot of sports books. This is my sports book dedicated shelf. I'm sure I've got more elsewhere around the house. And so I am someone who coaches football, who's interested in cricket, watches wrestling, loads of different sports I'm into, and I read a lot of books about them. But our winner was one I read right towards the end of the year, and it is The Mixer. This book is all about footballing tactics in the Premier League era, and also before that in England, basically talking about tactics and things that have happened in English football that have helped shape the game in itself. It is really in depth. I had an edition that went up until, I think, definitely post the World Cup. Maybe not right up to now, but it was very, very interesting. You know, it went into great detail about how football has changed over time, the impact of money on football, the impact of foreign players on football, the impact of foreign managers, all of it. It is a really, if you know someone who's really into the nitty-gritty of football and wants a book to read, I highly recommend this book. It is really, really great for that kind of individual, and isn't like the most difficult read. I got through it quite easily and is very digestible. We are now into the meat and potatoes of the video. We're going to be talking about the best non-fiction book of the year, and I read a lot of non-fiction books this year. I feel like I read more non-fiction than fiction, but maybe towards the end of the year I picked up on the fiction. So, non-fiction book of the year. I read a lot, and it's difficult to decide, I will not lie, and there is also the risk of recency bias, obviously. But the one non-fiction book I read this year where I felt not just a sense of accomplishment in reading it, but also, you know, my ability to finish it. I feel like I said that sentence wrong, where I didn't feel like I just learned things from it, but I also felt a feeling of accomplishment by reading it, was Environmental Warfare in Gaza. This book angered me, it frustrated me, it drove me, but also it was a book that I actually felt like, wait a second, I actually understood everything in this book from an academic and scientific standpoint, and that is just a testament to the book. Because the book does give you a lot of information, and it goes into a lot of science information too, that I myself am not the most scientific person, like I don't have the best scientific understanding of things. However, this book was very compelling, very well written, very well informative, and also written in a way where even someone like me was able to digest all of that information. And especially what's going on in the world, it is very much an important read. I read a lot of great non-fiction books, including like Andreas Malm's How to Blow Up a Pipeline, We Are Not Numbers, so many books I read this year, and so don't take that as the only non-fiction book that I've read. You can go on my story graph and see all the books I read, but this one really stood out to me this year. Maybe a tinge of recency bias, but such a great book, such a great read. And finally, the big one for many of you, the best fiction book of the year. My number one fiction book of the year has been one that really stuck with me throughout the entire year, and I still talk to people about it. It is Guards by Terry Pratchett. Guards by Terry Pratchett was one that was really pushed on me by my viewers and my members in particular, and it was one of the book club books of the month. It really changed my mind, not just on Terry Pratchett, but also having to read more fantasy, and I did a lot of that this year. I read a lot of fantasy books. EARTHSEA was the catalyst, and I feel like Guards was the one that kept on propelling me to read more fantasy last year, So, Guards, it basically was like Terry Pratchett. Wow, what a banger writer. He is so good. Neil Gaiman, go away, I don't like you. It was such a great read. I had so much fun reading it. It really made me want to go off and read more Terry Pratchett, which I will be doing this year. I just need to get through the backlog, as mentioned in the previous video. If I get through all the backlog, I will get a Terry Pratchett book and read another one, maybe at Christmas time. It was so good, so fun, so witty. It still stays with me right now. I still think about it. I still think about, hey, maybe I should pick it up and reread it. It was such an enjoyable read. Dragons as well, you know? Dragons as well. So you can't say no to that. But yes, that was our winner, and those are all of our winners. This was the second annual Brown Booktuber Award, voted on by yours truly, me, and me. So let me know in the comments down below your best book in all of the categories, including the most EARTHSEA book of the year, the winner of the EARTHSEA Award, and also your best non-fiction, your best fiction book, your best sports book, your most frustrating read. Let me know about that in the comments down below. Before I sign off and say a special thank you to my members. Members get access to additional videos, they get access to the movie club, the book club, they get early access to videos, they get to help inform the shape of the channel. So if that does interest you, you can join from as little as £1 a month down below in this video or on my channel. But if not, thank you for getting to this part of the video. I really should have worn a suit jacket like I said I would last time. I really should have gotten a haircut before recording this video because I can barely see. But, you know, that's how we do it here. It's all about the books. It's not about the presentation, and that is my excuse for lazy editing. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and share the video with a friend or family member. And hey, I hope you read a great